Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams.
And welcome on in, everybody, to another edition of Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad Bryan over to my right, your left. I'm Eli Moon, and it is Thursday, our Friday for this week. But next week, it will not be our Friday. It will be our Thursday, as we will be rocking 5 days a week starting next week, Monday through Friday, same time, 10 to 11 p.m. here on the Inside Edge Network. So if you are new here, hello, how are you? Make sure you give us a follow, like, subscribe, all the great stuff. Inside Edge Network, Inside Edge Net is the handle. So go ahead and give us a, like I said, like, subscribe, follow all the great stuff there. And of course, over at Chad's head, over to the right, your left, there it is the QR code. That takes you to the partners page of the InsideEdgeNetwork.com. And you can see all the great sponsors. You have already heard from BA Sweeties. You've heard from Fanatics. Later on, you'll hear from Mosser Moments Photography. You'll hear from W Energy, Alley Rose Fragrances, and you'll also hear from Sports Memorabilia. So you hear from all of our great sponsors, that partners page, right through that QR code. Toggle over to the shop page, and you go right to the shop. You can get some great polos, mugs, hats, all the great stuff. Inside Edge Network merch. It's a great thing. So support us because we couldn't do it without you. So we appreciate you rocking the merch, doing all the great stuff. And then, of course, you can go to the personalities page as well and read about the network talent like Chad and I. I mean, we kind of are an open book, but if you need more information about us, it's there on the network, InsideEdgeNetwork.com, that is. So great stuff there. Chad, Thursday, last time we could say this is our Friday. How are you feeling, my guy?
Listen, we can say it's our Friday as often as we want, but it's not going to be true.
Yeah, we're just lying to ourselves.
Yeah,
we're just lying to ourselves.
Yeah, we got to be honest with ourselves. It's been a big week, man. There's been a lot of things, a lot of sports, a lot of chicken sandwiches. It's been a whole week, man. I'm feeling pretty good though. I'm feeling good.
Sure. How are you feeling, Mike? Yeah, I'm feeling great, man. You know, I think I'm over the under the weatherness or however that works. I'm feeling good. The weather's
over under on the over.
Yeah.
No.
Something like that, but here's the thing, I got to cut the grass today, so the grass is cut. It looks good. It almost looks like Progressive Field worthy. I mean, I'm doing well, man. Like I said, I'm feeling a little bit better. Busy weekend. I mean, we got great stuff coming up. Papa Moon has a really exciting guest. You're going to have to check that out on Saturday. Everybody out there listening, Saturday at 5 p.m., Papa Moon has a very exciting guest. So more on that. You'll have to see who it is, and stay tuned here on the Inside Edge Network. So a lot of great stuff going on. Of course, we also, as we talked about, we're extending, to Friday, so Monday through Friday, but not just us. Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell, which will be 5 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. He had his pilot episode last Friday, so very great stuff. If you missed that, go back and check it out. It's on all the socials, and it's very powerful stuff. Yeah. And then, of course, you have Inside Edge Primetime, Chad and I, 10 to 11 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then Double A Anthony Alfred, extending from Monday through Wednesday to Monday to Friday, 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. So some very great stuff. 3 daily shows you can enjoy on top of all of our weekly weekly shows you look forward to. Real Talk with Papa Moon, Jersey Chasers, Voice of the Land, Commissioner's Couch, all of these great shows. Conversations with Eli Moon, I'm not going anywhere. Of course, Main Event, we have great programming for you. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. All right, Chad. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get to it.
That's it. That's the show.
Let's get to it. No,
that's not the show. Sorry.
Now, I was so happy going over all the great stuff from the network because I'm so happy with everything we got going on. I was excited to talk about the merch and everything we got going on, the great sponsors, our partners we have. Yeah. But I just started having I just started getting a chill. And I just started thinking about my appearance on Midnight Run on screen yesterday. Obviously, I produced a show, but I spent a long time on screen with Double A Anthony Alfred yesterday talking about the Cleveland Browns. And I'll be honest. You showed me probably one of the scariest stories that I could probably ever listen to, and that wasn't even the worst part of my night. The worst part of my night was having to talk about the Cleveland Browns for an extensive period of time when it comes to this Deshaun Watson situation, Chad. I don't know. I'm curious your thoughts first because I have a lot to say.
Well, I guess I just don't know if I'm not sure if this is an opinion piece. I don't know. I mean, we heard Mary Kay Cabot's point on the whole thing, and I don't know if it's just her opinion that, hey, name a quarterback, just get the most experienced quarterback in the NFL out there and start learning the offense and let's roll. Which, I mean, at the surface is a pretty respectable opinion. If that quarterback in question weren't Deshaun Watson, I think, in my opinion. I don't know if it's something, insider knowledge from someone in the organization. I feel like some of this stuff wouldn't be getting out, right? If it wasn't with the approval of someone in the organization. I'm not clear. I guess I'm just not. I've tried to read over and over again the tweets, the whatever, all the information that's out there right now, and it gets muddied because of there's so many reactions and overreactions on social media. People get a little nasty, I think, sometimes with some of the Browns. They don't do that. That's all your team beat writers and everyone around. Everyone's doing their best to try to bring you as much information as they can. We all love information. We love to get it as quickly as we can, as much as we can. And then sometimes as fans, we do that thing where we berate the people who give us the information, right? Don't do that. Right. I get it. You disagree with an opinion. You can respectfully disagree. That's perfectly fine. But again, I think respectfully disagreeing. Respectfully is the key word there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure. It's troubling to me that could be what we're looking at. There are a lot of reasons I don't love it, Eli. I'll be honest with you. I don't know.
Here's my thing on the whole thing. I gave a curling iron example yesterday on Midnight Run. I advise everybody to go back and check that out. Mm-hmm. But I'll basically do the summary of it. Essentially, when I was younger, I grabbed onto my mom's curling iron, and it was hot. And my mom was so worried, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, Eli, you can't do that. Are you okay?" Like, she felt so terrible. I mean, it was my fault. But I grabbed the curling iron. I haven't grabbed a curling iron since while it's been plugged in. In fact,
you learned your lesson.
I learned my lesson. The Cleveland Browns are dealing with a curling iron situation, Chad. Mm-hmm. This is something where they've already dealt with Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. They made the big move. They trade for him, give him all this guaranteed money. And what has it got them? The same spot they could have been in with quarterback lore of the past, Brian Hoyer, or Seneca Wallace, or Colt McCoy, or any of these other guys. The list goes on. In fact, there's a quarterback jersey list that is still growing and will continue to grow by these types of decisions. So we find out that it's not working. He is not the same guy he was before the injuries and before all this. Let's just get into it, the off-the-field stuff, right? Because I think a lot of people in Cleveland, respectfully across other dialogues and everything like that, are so afraid to bring up that this guy had issues before he reached the field. We didn't know as Browns fans when he would be on the field. He misses pretty much half the first year he's here, but he's getting paid. Second year, he runs into problems, gets hurt. Still getting paid. Third year, I mean, it's the same trend, Chad. So it goes back to a curling iron situation for the Cleveland Browns. You grabbed that curling iron. You wanted to find out if it was hot. And damn it, it was pretty hot. And you found out and got burnt. Now, if you go back 3-4 years later and do the same thing, I can't be upset. I can't be like, oh my goodness, Jimmy Haslam, Andrew Berry, Todd Monken, are you guys okay? Like, you grabbed the you did this to yourselves. And any Cleveland Browns fan has every right to be like, you know what, I'm going to find other things to do from September to January. Because I'm not going to say February, because if you put Deshaun Watson out there, there is no February. In fact, there's the first week of January. You get 1 week, and it's called, the doomsday situation for the Cleveland Browns. This is dangerous, not only for Andrew Berry, Jimmy Haslam, but Todd Monken. Yeah. Todd Monken is the coach, and he's going to go down with the ship. And a decision like this, I said it last night on Midnight Run, and all respect to Mary Kay Cabot and the reporting, and if it seems like the reports are that Deshaun Watson's going to be the starting quarterback more and more, then the Cleveland Browns are putting themselves in a position where they have to go win the division, at the very least, make the playoffs. Because you're telling us as Browns fans The front office, the coaching staff, the organization is telling us as Browns fans that, and people covering the team and everything like that, hey, we are ready to compete. We are ready to compete with the Bengals and the Ravens and the Steelers. We're ready to compete with the Patriots, and we're ready to compete with the Bills. We're ready to compete with these teams. And that is laughable, Chad. We have spent so much time, and I love the Browns. But guess what? We're not fans, respectfully. When we're on this show and when we're covering here on the network, we are going to break it down and call it like we see it. And I'm going to call this like I see it. The Cleveland Browns have been in a rebuild for the last year, maybe 2 years, and really have finally announced that it was. So how are you going to go from having a great draft on paper, we're building the building blocks, and it turns into great on the field. You have another great draft on paper. We'll see how it looks on the field. And you go into this situation now, a week later, you have killed any excitement for Cleveland Browns fans, the media, anybody that covers the team, whatever. You've killed any excitement, any give a damn about this, because guess what? I don't want Deshaun Watson as my starting quarterback. There's a lot of reasons why. If you want to go with the on the field, he hasn't lived up to the money. He really hasn't been anywhere close to Houston Texans' Deshaun Watson. But if I really want to get deep about it, I have a mom and a sister and women that I respect in my life. And the shit that kind of ties with Deshaun Watson, sorry, we're not going to shy away from it here. It's a problem. It's a problem. You want to hang out with anybody that has these type of situations going on, if you respect and love the women in your life. And you certainly wouldn't want them as your franchise quarterback. So when it comes down to all those things, how can we be excited as Browns fans going into September after this great draft if this is what we are being dealt a week later, Chad? It makes no sense. And here's the one thing, and I know you have some other thoughts on this. Here's my thing about the Browns. Double A asked me yesterday, we talked about it. When are they going to announce him? Should they announce Deshaun right now? They're not going to do that. They're not going to announce Deshaun as a starter right now. They are not going to put an official press release until about week 3 of the preseason. They're going to do the song and dance that we're used to, a quarterback battle, all that, and they're going to announce more than likely Deshaun Watson's a quarterback. What this means for Shedeur Sanders, who knows? But if I'm him, I'm trying to figure out who needs a quarterback right now. Who at least is going to be in competition, because clearly the Cleveland Browns don't value him. A guy that went from the number 2 overall projected pick to a 5th round pick, till he can't beat out Dylan Gabriel, till he can't beat out Deshaun Watson. Something seems a little fishy to me. I said it last night, but it just seems a little fishy to me, Chad.
Yeah, I don't know what this means for Shedeur. I don't know. I guess I can understand Todd Monken coming in and not. It's not like he doesn't know the past. I mean, he's well aware of what's gone down and how Deshaun Watson was acquired and what happened before he was acquired and what's happened since, and all the news off the field, on the field, all this stuff. I don't blame him for coming in and trying to keep the blinders on and just saying, hey, I'm going to go with the most experienced quarterback in the NFL because, bottom line is this guy has pro experience. The other quarterbacks looked a little suspect at times last year, right? Yeah. But then, there were times when the offense was actually pretty explosive under Shedeur, and it didn't often last long. I don't know that he ever put together a full 4-quarter game where I was like, okay, he's here, right? He passed for over 300 yards. I think he's the only rookie quarterback to pass for over 300 yards in a game last year, if I'm correct.
Yep.
Against the Titans, he had a big game, right? Against another very high-profile rookie back, right, who was taken way before him in the draft. And you can argue who had the better or worse weapons or the better or worse offensive line. I mean, the Titans were pretty bad, but I don't know. I'm not very excited either. I personally would rather I think Shedeur Sanders is the guy who is going to be here the longest out of the two. I don't see them re-signing Deshaun Watson really, no matter what happens. I think you have to move on. Well, maybe I just want to move on, but I want to give Shedeur the chance to develop. 1 year, nobody's expecting a Super Bowl. Nobody's expecting a trip to the AFC Championship game. No one's expecting a division win this year. You can see what they've done in the draft, and you can see how they've addressed the offensive line, and you can reasonably expect some improvement. But listen, this franchise, man, they can do all the right things on paper, Eli, and they have trouble putting it together on the field. And it's been this way for, I almost said 42 years. It's been this way for 26 years since they've come back, and 42 starting quarterbacks. That's where 42 came from. They've had some ups, but they've had a lot more downs. And you have to be, I think you just kind of, I try to stay in the middle, right? I try not to be too optimistic or too pessimistic about it. I don't want to come on and always dump on the Browns. I don't want to come on yelling about, Super Bowl championships upcoming because – we took a big fast guy early in the draft, and then we took another fast guy, and then we took another fast guy, and then we took another big guy, whatever.
Right.
Obviously paraphrasing a bit, but you get excited about the draft pick. Sure. I mean, they filled some holes with some need, and they did a great job with, keeping their mind on value, right? And the draft, I thought they got some excellent picks on paper. This is where the Browns are always good on paper, right? They have a top 5 defense on paper. And then that defense is on the field for so long that they can't get stops late in the game, and no one's blaming them physically for being not good enough. They're exhausted. Your legs are, you look like James Harden out there coming up short on every shot in the fourth quarter. It's like they're done, right? They're just absolutely done. They're gassed by the end of the game because the offense can't move the football. And who was the only quarterback last year that showed some semblance of being able to move the football at times? It was Shedeur, right? Mm-hmm. What have we seen from Deshaun Watson in his – how many starts has it been? 19 starts for the Browns?
Yeah.
19 starts for 200 and – well, we're about 170 million now because we still owe him 80-some million. So we've seen a pretty good half of football against the Ravens. So one pretty good half, a couple of good quarters here and there, one broken shoulder, 2 ruptured Achilles, and a whole lot of legal trouble. And just a lot of deplorable. Listen, legal trouble is one thing. If you're out there speeding and getting pulled over, whatever, we've talked about Myles Garrett. I don't know that necessarily qualifies as legal trouble. They're poor decisions, sure, and they add up and they keep happening. They keep coming, and you wonder if he's ever going to turn the corner and maybe not drive 100 miles an hour on the freeway around Cleveland. But it's something that people do, right? It's not as serious of an offense as what Deshaun Watson has been accused of 26 times. And by the way, settled out of court 26 times. People like to say, well, he's been found innocent. No, these have been set. I mean, it's not the same thing, right? Like paying off people who are accusing you of a certain action is not the same thing as being found innocent. That's not the same thing. So you can believe what you want to believe there. You can believe it was a setup by the Houston Texans. I would think it would be hard to find 26 people to openly come lie and then have to go give depositions and testify to whatever. I don't know, Eli. It's just disappointing, I guess, at this point.
It is, and it's bold of a lot of people to assume that. That's my personal opinion, that when there's smoke, there's fire when it comes to that and the off the field. And it's at the end of the day with this, because I know we have to go to break here in a moment. At the end of the day, the Cleveland Browns are playing a dangerous game. They just broke ground for the Brook Park Stadium.
Yeah.
They just broke ground. They just broke ground for the new stadium.
Today.
And they are playing a dangerous game. They have a new head coach and a GM that was on the hot seat coming into this draft. They have a quarterback that the city, for the most part, there are some people that still rock with Deshaun Watson and whatever, do what you want to do. Yeah. But for the most part, that are checked out on the guy that they are trying to push as the starting quarterback this year.
Yeah.
They are playing a dangerous game right now. And it's on the Cavaliers and the Guardians and these, other things going on, the music scene and everything else in Cleveland. But with everything else starting to grow in this city, the Cleveland Browns are playing a dangerous game in terms of filling seats in that new stadium. Yeah. If this is what's it going to be, because what if Deshaun Watson does start and he just falls on his face? Okay, now and here's the catch: we falls on his face, but we aren't in position high enough in the draft to get one of these top prospects. It's doomsday.
Yeah.
So.
And for the people who want Deshaun Watson to start, what happens if he comes out and he looks absolutely terrible? The Browns start off 0-4. Then what do? You just want to cancel the rest of the season? Like there are people out there, people in the comments right now that don't want to see Shedeur Sanders on the field. So what do we do if Deshaun Watson comes out and starts? The Browns go 0-4. He throws 12 interceptions in the first four games and 6 touchdowns. Then what do we do? Like do we just go right to Taylor Green? And just start whatever project quarterback, right? Let's move on. We're going to completely move on from a second-year guy who showed some promise last year. Again, I know it was bad. The numbers were terrible. You should see the offensive line numbers also. When you break down the metrics for how bad the offensive line truly was, by the time we got to the point of the season where Shedeur got to start, I think you'd be shocked if you'd actually just look past the quarterback and look at what affects the quarterback play, right? Look at the offensive line. Look at the wide receiver drops, the inability to get open, the inability to create any space on the field at all on any routes by anyone except for Harold Fanta Jr. And he's not a wide receiver. He's a tight end. So I I don't know. I guess my opinion differs. I just think you give Shedeur the year to try to figure it out. If he doesn't develop, he doesn't progress. And again, it's the Baker Mayfield thing. He's in his second offense in his second year, right? So starting all over to a certain point. But you give him the chance, and if he doesn't get to the point where you want him to be by week 12, week 13, whatever, then I think you know what you have to do in next year's draft. And I think that's the only reasonable way to go about this. You go with Deshaun Watson. What if he plays great? What if, here's the other like doomsday scenario. Deshaun Watson starts for the Browns and throws 45 touchdowns, and they go 13-4, and they go to the playoffs and they lose the first round, and then he leaves in free agency. Then what? What have you done? What have you done for the franchise's future? A whole lot of nothing.
A whole lot of nothing because Shedeur is not going to keep dealing with being overlooked, and the Browns are in a position to get a quarterback. So I mean, it's rough. It's a
lose-lose situation. Even if you win, it's a lose-lose situation. Unless you win the Super Bowl, I mean, that's the only foreseeable thing that could happen where you could be like, okay, that was worth it. And even then, morally, I can't get behind it. I have a hard time with it, man.
Yeah,
that's my opinion. I'm allowed to have that. That's where I am right now. Your opinion may differ from mine, and that's okay. There are just certain things I'm not willing to accept. And 26 counts of sexual assault is one of those things.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, pal. I do not want this guy, Deshaun Watson, as a starting quarterback. And the on the field is spoken as well as the off the field. If the off the field didn't speak enough to the Cleveland Browns, I mean, go look at the freaking tape, bro. Come on, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing? So, All right, Chad and I are going to take a quick break here. We're going to refresh. You do the same. When we come back, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. Take a trip around the league. We'll talk about the Cavs as well. We'll recap a little bit more. We had the post game last night. We'll talk some more. And when we come back, that is what we'll do. Later on in the show, Chad sat down with WKYC meteorologist Matt Wintz. He rejoined the show here, friend of the program and friend of the network. He'll sit down with Chad, have a discussion later on in the show. I can't believe Matt is up this late, Chad.
He's going to look crazy on air in the morning, and it's going to be our fault.
I love it. I love it. So that's Chad Bryan to my right, your left. I'm Eli Moon. This is Inside Edge Primetime here in the Inside Edge Network. Give us a follow, Inside Edge Net. We're right back after this.
Hey, I got something to show you guys. Take a look. It is spring. Happy spring to all of you. Take a look at what we have here for you from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Beautiful spring scent candles here for you. Hand poured with premium fragrance and essential oils. How about this? Our coconut soy wax candles bring fresh, uplifting spring scents to your home. Made with clean, natural ingredients, they're a mindful choice for sensitive spaces and those who love effortless seasonal fragrances. You got to check it out right now. There's the soft bloom and the lemon bar candles, all healthy ingredients, all from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. And if you're a first-time customer, use the promo code InsideEdge20. That's InsideEdge20. Get this for yourself, for your friends, family, everyone. You want a good smelling home, AlleyRoseFragrances.com will make it happen. Again, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Get the new spring candles. And when you order, if you're a first-time customer, InsideEdge20 is the promo code.
Clean energy, bold flavors, no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Helps you lock in and focus. Over 15 absolute fire flavors to choose from. Visit Dubby.gg and use promo code InsideEdge10.
And welcome back to Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad Bryan to my right, your left, and I'm Eli Moon, and we are back here on our Thursday edition of Inside Edge Primetime, a very, very busy Thursday. And of course, if you just tuned in, we talked some Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns and got some things off for our chest. Mary Kate Cabot from Cleveland.com reporting yesterday that he has the Inside Edge track to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns week 1, and Chad and I are not too thrilled about that. So if you missed it, you have to go back and check it out on the replay. That's on Inside Edge Net on all the socials. We appreciate you being here. Like, subscribe, follow, all that great stuff. And, of course, check out the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. The QR code takes you to the partners page right over Chad's head. A lot of great stuff here to talk about. And we're gonna take a little bit of a pause from having to talk about the Browns. We're going to talk about the NBA playoffs, Chad. Again, WKYC Meteorologist Matt Wintz literally on standby. Good news is he doesn't have to talk too much weather, but he's on standby, and he will be talking with Chad here next segment. So make sure you stay tuned. Some serious stuff to talk about. So Chad and Matt will talk about that. I'm gonna take a pause. I might go get my hair cut, maybe potentially. I don't know if a barber's open this late. Then I'll be back after that for final thoughts with everybody. Okay. So let's dive into the NBA playoffs here, Chad. We talked some Cavs. I'd like to take some time to talk about some of these other teams, these other games. And we were talking before we got on air. New York just put belt to ass to Atlanta. I mean, just rough. I mean, and they advanced now. They're in the second round. They'll await the winner of Boston, Philadelphia. And I believe Philadelphia, they were winning last time I checked. I think they ended up hanging on in that one. 20 seconds left, 106-93. Philadelphia on top of Boston. So, I mean, it looks like they're going to go, to what? That's a Game 7 now for Boston and Philadelphia. So
Yeah, I've got that final on my end now. Yeah, I don't have the score, but I see that it's 3-3. The series is tied 3-3.
Yeah, so Game 7 for Boston and Philadelphia. So New York will await the winner of that matchup. The Cavaliers, of course, we'll talk about them a little bit later on in the segment. They take on the Toronto Raptors in Game 6. That'll be an interesting game, of course. We'll have post-game coverage after the game, of course, here on the Inside Edge Network. Let's talk about the Eastern Conference, though, Chad, because it does seem like we spent a lot of time going off on the Cavs yesterday. Despite the 125-120 win and then getting to a 3-2 lead over the Raptors, did not feel very it felt more doom and gloom between UI and Kyle.
Yeah. Like the night after a loss. It felt pretty bad, to be honest. But watching that game felt like it was going to be an L. I mean, they were down 12 at one point to a team that they don't really have any business being down 12 to. I get basketball's a game of runs, but my goodness, man, they've got to turn on the defense before the fourth quarter going forward. That's all.
Yeah, and it was, it was a little concerning, but I guess seeing like Boston struggle with Philadelphia tonight, does that make you feel a little bit better? You're seeing Boston struggle, you're seeing Detroit struggle with Orlando. New York didn't necessarily struggle tonight, but I mean, Atlanta gave them hell for a few games. That they did end up pushing to 6. Does it make you feel a little bit better when you kind of look at the grand scope of things in the Eastern Conference? Because we do spend a lot of time focusing here in Cleveland. We're Cleveland's digital leader, so we're going to focus on the Cavs. But when you look at the other Eastern Conference favorites, the top contenders seem to be struggling as well, friend.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it does make me feel. Listen, you don't want to see everybody struggle. You don't have to watch other people struggle to make yourself feel better, but it's never really bad watching your conference rivals struggle a little bit, right? You want some of these teams to have some tough games before they possibly get to the Cavaliers down the road. So, watching this Celtics 76ers series being tied going to a game 7, you never know. It's game 7. You really never know, right? It's one of the craziest things in sports. I mean, you don't really have it in football, but as far as baseball and basketball go, I mean, it can go either way, and it can go either way really quickly, right? So I got off to a good start, and otherwise anything can happen. So, yeah, I think it makes me feel a little bit better. It's going to make me feel maybe not so much better if the Cavaliers go to Toronto and lose game 6 and then have to come back for their own game 7. If they can wrap it up in Toronto, all the better. I guess I'll feel a little better. But I don't know. I told you when we had the playoff preview show, I told you guys I felt uneasy heading into this series. And it wasn't necessarily about the future. It was more about this series. I've questioned the defensive effort, all season. You watch, and there are just times when the defense completely goes away, and guys aren't even, I'm going to sound old, but guys aren't moving their feet. Guys aren't even getting in passing lanes. No one has their hands up. Everyone's just standing around kind of watching. Right now, Toronto do whatever they want to do for 3. I mean, you've got a Toronto team that doesn't really shoot the ball well. And they're shooting the lights out against the Cavs right now because there's no defensive pressure. There's no urgency from the Cavaliers. There's no fire. There's nothing. I mean, that you're just watching the Toronto Raptors get, they're easing into a half-court offense that they really don't have without their starting point guard. Emmanuel quickly still out. He's out for the series. And yet they're running the half-court offense. Yeah, they got a bunch of points off turnovers, like 28 points off. It's crazy. That's insane. 28 points off turnovers, a bunch of fast break points. And those things can't happen against a team that listen, that's what they want to do, right? You have to take better care of the basketball, and you got to get back on defense. And I told you I felt uneasy, but yeah, I guess watching some of these other teams, the Pistons, wow. I mean, the 1 seed really struggling with Orlando right now, the 8 seed, but again, right place, right time for Orlando. They've turned the corner, and they're just really a problem right now. So I guess I feel better, but again, I mean, if the Cavs go to Toronto and lose game 6, that good feeling, that goodwill goes away. So I don't know. I guess you're muted, buddy.
Oh my goodness! If there's ghosts got back into the studio, I don't know what happened. But
as long as you don't turn yellow everywhere, that was freaky last night,
dude. Oh my goodness! But here's what I will say: if the New York Knicks could be the favorite, if the Boston Celtics, we're 1 game 7 away from Philadelphia beating Boston, going to play New York, and I get it, they could still do the same thing, but I mean, depending what happens in game 7, if Philadelphia wins. It seems like based off all the other matchups, the New York Knicks are the favorite to win the Eastern Conference. And I know that makes one Stephen A. Smith happy somewhere. I know it makes all the guys out there in New York just super excited. But it does seem they have the experience. Jalen Brunson, Cat, they've all been deep into playoff runs. They have super chemistry. They've been on the runs for most part together, a lot of these guys. And, they have an experienced coach. Mike Brown... I get he gets a lot of crap from a lot of people, but he is an experienced coach. He's been to a finals. He's been under Steve Kerr in coaching. So he has the experience. So I would be right now, if Philadelphia beats Boston, regardless of what happens in these other series, I think the New York Knicks are probably the favorite to win the Eastern Conference. And I'm not thrilled as a Cavs fan to say that, but they seem to have their bleep together the most right now, Chad.
Yeah, they have their bleep together. They're bleeping people up. And I'm bleeping worried about him, man. I think that's fair to say.
I started saying bleep. Look, I've been producing Midnight Run for so long, and Double A does a really good job not swearing. So right. I try to say bleeping because Mama Moon's probably watching somewhere, and I try to watch it. Papa Moon, sometimes he's a sailor, so I think that's where I get it from. But he just got back from the Bahamas. But no, yeah, it's in Double A. Anthony Alfred.
Was he down there steering the ship? Is that what he was doing?
Yeah, Double A. Anthony Alfred, our program director and host of the Midnight Run with Anthony Alfred. He tuned in and chimed in as well. He said, "I feel way better as a Cavs fan if the Celtics are knocked out." What do you think, Chad?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I feel better if the Celtics are out, but can we take the Knicks out too? Like,
Right.
can we
Right.
just
That's
clear everybody out of the Eastern Conference and just let the Cavs just have a bye right to the finals? Can we do that? Is that a thing or no? That would
that's what
make
I'm
me feel better.
saying. That's what I'm saying because at the
Yeah,
reality.
I don't want to play the team that beats the Celtics. I don't want to play the team that beats the Knicks right now. Whatever. I feel better, but you got to play the team that beat those. I don't know. Whatever.
You're right, and ultimately, I think to answer Double A's comment there, kind of respond back to it. It's like, well, if they Boston's knocked out, New York's going to the Eastern Conference Finals, and the Cavs have had so much trouble getting past New York. And I know Mitchell Robinson went down, and we'll kind of keep an eye on his injury. Or excuse me, he was ejected. He was injured earlier in the game, was kind of hobbling around, then he was ejected. But kind of keep an eye on what's going on with him. But he has had the Cavs number. That's
a smart way to get into the training room early, by the way. That's a smart way to get into the training room.
Sure is. But I think it's not a great situation for the Cavaliers right now, regardless. Because even if Boston wins and Boston I think either of those two teams, Boston and New York, are going to be a problem. And to your point, if Philadelphia survives the gauntlet and they have enough energy to get past this Cavs team, I mean, we might be talking about Joel Embiid finishing the process. And I hate being so doom and gloom, but the Cavs have really not given a lot of inspiring basketball. They have not really given a lot of, okay, this team can really turn it up to 15-20. Like championship teams, you think of the Golden State Warriors, and we don't really like to think about those championships too much here in Cleveland, but they would go from being down 5 to up 15 in a blink of an eye. Yeah. And I don't know if this Cavaliers team has that type of run. The San Antonio Spurs the other night with Victor Wembanyama, they have that type of run where they can push and get back. And, I think the Western Conference, regardless if the Cavs can survive this gauntlet, the Western Conference is so tough too.
Oh, my goodness. It's tough. It's very deep. I mean, I think it's maybe a little bit deeper than we thought. All of a sudden, I mean, the Lakers with just LeBron out there, right, are looking pretty tough. The Rockets are hanging in there with them. I don't know. The Western Conference really scares me. Whoever comes out of the West is going to be battle tested, first of all. They're going to be scary, man. It's
yeah,
tough.
I know. And then we have the Side Hustle Wrestling podcast, which I got a spidey sense that it could be Kyle Cornell, but we're not positive. But with Anthony Alford chiming in on Anthony Alford, I would imagine. Well, here's the thing: it would be poetic justice to get the Knicks in the conference finals. Yeah, but I don't know if I'm thrilled to see them.
Well, is it poetic justice if you go there and get swept? I mean,
I don't know.
Just poetic, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll hope that the Cavs can figure it out. We'll keep an eye on the Eastern Conference. The Knicks advance tonight. Celtics going to a Game 7 against Philly. Orlando has Detroit on the ropes, looking to close them out. And the Cavaliers hopefully going to close out Toronto. We'll keep you updated here. Of course, we're back Monday. We're not going anywhere yet. We still got a lot of show left. But we'll be back Monday, of course, to recap more of the NBA playoffs that happened over the weekend. So with that being said, I am going to go see if there's a barber open or maybe I can get a drink, a non-alcoholic drink. Okay, I don't drink anymore. But I'm going to grab something, all right? Maybe some, I've had some couscous all day. Maybe I'll grab some couscous. Chad's going to sit down with, patiently waiting WKYC meteorologist Matt Wintz. They're going to talk about the weather.
His eyes are open. He's awake, yes.
I mean, we had to check in on him during the break. Like, hey, we'll try to be quick. And he's been so patient with us. So he's going to sit down with Chad, talk about the weather. He's going to talk about some basketball maybe. And
yeah, I'm asking about the Cavs. We're going to get into the Cavs a little bit.
Okay. I know you guys had some, you have a shared trauma. Is that the right word? Okay.
Yeah, we have a shared experience with a pretty major Cleveland character, Cleveland sports character. It's troubling a little bit. I think we're gonna maybe open some eyes tonight on the Inside Edge Network. Matt and I will get into that in just a moment here.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's Chad Bryan. I'm Eli Moon. This is Inside Edge Primetime. Make sure you give us a follow here on the Inside Edge Network at Inside Edge Net. Chad sitting down with Matt Wintz right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Whether you're searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and player. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, but you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Ryan and Hallie Mosser. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at mossermomentsphotography.com. All right, welcome on back into Inside Edge Primetime on this Thursday evening. It's Thursday night. It's the end of the week for us, but only for this week, because next week, as we talked about, we're going 5 days a week, along with Kyle Cornell, Unfiltered. He'll be 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 5 to 6. Eli and I will be back next week, 5 days a week from 10 to 11. And then Anthony Alford, our program director, AA, will be back on Midnight Run, also Monday through Friday. Although he calls it Tuesday through Saturday because it's the midnight thing. It's confusing. Trust me, it's just going to be Monday night through Friday night. Don't let AA confuse you. So yeah, all kinds of Monday through Friday stuff going on the network. We are expanding. We're growing very rapidly, and we're excited to do so. But for now, it is time to welcome in a very, very special guest. We talked to him last month. We talked a little weather. We talked some home opener stuff. We talked all kinds of stuff. We're going to do the same tonight. A friend of the network. Let me welcome in WKYC meteorologist Matt Wintz.
Hey, buddy.
Matt, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
Well, the kids are tucked into bed and everything's nice and calm in the house. Just two dads with zip-ups on. It's great.
Yes, this is our time. This is our time of peace, our time of wonder. Some might say. I go downstairs and it's very quiet. There's no fighting over the TV or over anything really. Snacks.
We don't have to hide in the bathroom, so we're good.
Yeah, no fighting over oxygen. That sometimes happens.
That happens.
It sounds like a joke, but we went to Virginia Beach last summer on a vacation, and people go, "How was it?" I was like, "Oh, it's good." Well, except for the time when my kids fought over sand and water on the beach.
On a beach. No
things,
shortage of that. Yikes.
Yeah, they happen in abundance. Like, everything's fine here. We're not going to run out of sand. Well, hopefully, but I digress. How are you doing? Are you good? Have you been good? It's been a month. It's been a while since you've been on.
Yeah. It's been a while. We've warmed up a little bit, but now we're going backwards weather-wise. So it's like, we really? Has it really been a month, or has it just been a couple days? I'm not sure.
It's hard to tell. We hit the time warp. We are backpedaling into early March again, even though it's going to be May. I don't really understand what's happening, but so we could talk about some. I joked with you. I texted. I said we could talk about Mayweather, not Floyd Mayweather, but what is our outlook for May? I mean, I know you said there may be some stuff that we don't want to hear about coming up in the forecast here soon.
There is. Yeah, we're not safe usually until they say Mother's Day, but Mother's Day is a little bit earlier this year. So. Chad, we had such a warm April. April was 4 to 5 degrees above average, which is a huge deal in the weather world. May is shaping up to be, and we saw this coming in April, May's shaping up to be a cool month. And especially the first 15, 16 days as we dive in starting tomorrow, it looks like it's below average. So what is below average this time of year? It's not terrible. 40s at the low point for highs, 50s and 60s are going to be pretty common. I don't see any 70 or 80 degree days over the next 15. And yeah, you mentioned it. We've got some quite a bit of rain next week, but we've also got some models that are saying a little snow may mix in at times, like 3 or 4 days. So it's incredible. It's just, you get that itch, you get that taste of what wonderful Cleveland late spring and summer is like around here. And then we go back to this, and that's what's so hard about it. So there's that.
It does make it tough. It's like once you've, when you feel you've emerged from the snow and the ice and whatever else happens in the winter. And then I think we hit 80 a couple of times. Did we hit 80 a couple of times?
Yeah, a couple of times. Felt great. A lot of 70s too. Yeah,
it was great. Now back to the 40s and 50s. So back to you, 40s and 50s. Well, that's okay. And I do want to stress that's not Matt's fault. Matt does not order the weather. He doesn't make it happen. He just prepares us for what's to come. And
there you go.
That's all. So well,
I don't like it either. Okay, a lot of people think that Weather Boy wants something to talk about. No, I don't. I'd rather talk about 70s and 80s. So there's that.
Yeah, I see it. It says "Don't blame me" right under your name there.
That's it.
That's pretty clear. Yeah, that's expressly written. I think that's fair to say. Sometime last week, mine said "Chicken Sandwich Chad." That's a whole nother story. Not sure how that happened or how that evolved into what it was, but we ended up doing the Tuesday top 5 list this week. Actually, this past Tuesday, I did the top 5 chicken sandwiches, like fast food chicken sandwiches that I've eaten.
Yeah,
I got yelled at. There were things happened. People were upset with me. There was some Popeyes slander apparently.
Yep.
So I had to go out this week and get a Popeyes chicken sandwich to totally redeem myself. And maybe we'll talk about that next week. Whether that
there are very strong opinions around chicken sandwiches.
I learned
very strong. It's like a religion. Like people, they have their chicken sandwich, and that's the one that they swear by is the best. And so I don't know how you got into that territory already. But I mean, you're asking for that. So I don't even want to know what your opinion is because I'm going to get fired up.
Yeah. Well, I delved into a realm that I don't think I belonged in. But to be honest with you, I was a little nervous for a couple of hours, but I'm okay now.
You have a bodyguard now. You're good.
Yes. Much like from we haven't emerged from the snow. We talked about that. So maybe I'll get back into chicken sandwich trouble next week. Who knows? Anyway, speaking of trouble, I watched our Cleveland Cavaliers play last night. In game 5. And I thought, okay, it's a home game. They're going to come back, and I don't know what happened in Toronto. It's a weird place to play, right? I've talked about it on the show a lot. I say it all the time. Toronto's just one of those kind of weird, wonky places. The fans are great. It's a great environment. Just a really tough place to play for whatever reason. So I thought when they came back after a couple of clunkers in games 3 and 4, game 5 would look much better. I thought, okay, this is where they put it all together, and this is where they make me feel like it's game 1 and game 2 again. When I said, okay, they're going to win this series in 4, maybe 5 games. The gentleman's sweep would be great. Oh, Matt, they forgot to play defense for 3 quarters of the game last night. They forgot to actually stop the other team from scoring. That's a thing. And it makes me nervous heading into game 6, which is tomorrow night, Friday night, 7:30, I think is the tip. And I don't have a ton of I don't know how you guys, if you guys get did you watch game 5?
I went to bed early. I watched the highlights. Yeah, that's my bedtime. But
you got up late. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's fine. I know. I have my pillow and cot right behind me. But obviously seeing the highlights and I told our staff, Dave Chudowski used to do sports. He's our morning anchor. Talk with Camino all the time as well. And it's one of those series. You don't know what a series is going to do when it starts, and it's kind of boring in game 1 because the story has to be told, right? And that story is now well developed. All right, Cavs need to win. Obviously, they know what they need to do. But the defense worries me. It's not what it was last couple of years, right? Which was still kind of worrisome. And the offense, it's just not. I don't know. It's not what I envisioned it when we got Harden. You picture this unstoppable duo where Mitchell's going to be a lot more open because Harden's going to draw the attention. You got Jared Allen in there who's going to be more open because of the perimeter defense and offense. And it's just not. It's not what I thought it would be as a fan. And it worries me because, again, it was much closer last night than what we thought it was going to be. They didn't come out with the fire and the intensity that we thought they would. Yeah. And I don't know, you kind of feel like as a fan watching Cleveland sports for a while that they're saving something. But now I'm not sure that they are saving something. Like maybe this is it, where all these games are going to be close with a team like Toronto. Where do we stand if we go to the next round? So what are your biggest concerns right now?
Well, I think, like you said, the defense. I think that's my biggest concern. Just the fact that they turned it on in the fourth quarter last night, but it was almost too late. I mean, they held on and won by 5, but at one point in this game, they were down by 12 points. And, right away, Toronto came out with, like you said, fire, passion. They came out shit. It was 6-0 right away. And my wife said, it's not a good omen. I always feel like the team that scores first has like the best chance to win. I felt like, well, in basketball, though, it's such a game of runs. I said,
right.
I said, maybe it feels bad right away, but they'll be fine. And then, the next thing they're down 12. I thought maybe she's right. But, I think that concerns me. The lack of defensive effort really concerns me. And the fact that they don't seem to be able to run the offense through the post at all with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, who are, let's be honest, they're two of the best big men in the NBA.
Right.
And they don't really – they're not able to run the offense through the post at all. It's all Harden. It's all Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan Mitchell's been off the last 3 games.
He has been.
James Harden scores a lot of points early. He was very, very good last night in the first quarter. And then he checked out for a long time. And then, his fourth quarter, I don't know what happened. It just it looked like his legs weren't there in the fourth quarter. And I brought up last night on the postgame. We did the postgame show right here on the Inside Edge Network. And I thought maybe it's the conditioning thing. I get it. He's been in the league 17 years. He's been to the playoffs 17 times. Plenty of miles on those legs, right? It's not
right.
It takes a toll. Maybe we need to think about sitting him at the end of the third quarter and a little bit at the beginning of the fourth to try to get him freshened up or something. Like there has to be some kind of a rotation that they find that works. Otherwise, I don't think this team will get out of the second round if they get past Toronto. I'm nervous about tomorrow night.
I am too.
They didn't play well at all in Toronto. You said it, and then it comes down to a game 7 where it's all or nothing. And, we saw how they came out in game 5 with that lack of fire, that lack of passion, that lack of anything really for a long time. Other than games boring.
It's interesting too how in the playoffs, obviously you find out how deep your bench is. And last night we had to go to the bench, and Dennis did a wonderful job, right, carrying the team on his back. I'm curious who steps up next, if someone does need to step up next, if it's not Harden, if it's not Mitchell. And the other thing we didn't talk about is the turnovers. The turnovers have been atrocious this year. And at times, I'm watching Harden and he's just lollygagging a pass. He throws great passes. He can pass the ball really great, but he'll just throw it. And it's like, what were you thinking on that one?
Yeah,
we can't win with that many turnovers, especially in the playoffs. Regular season, you might be able to get away with it a game or two, but not this time of year,
Yeah. 54 turnovers in the last 3 games is insane. Last night, 28 points off turnovers. I told you that's a whole quarter. That's
a quarter, right?
You can't play like that. And I one pass that sticks out in my mind from last night was a cross court pass from Harden to Max Strus. Harden just airmailed it, into like the 10th row of the stands. And I think it almost looks like even James Harden has kind of lost confidence in Jared Allen a little bit underneath. That dynamic isn't there anymore that we saw in the regular season. Remember how good they were?
Right. Everything was an alley-oop.
Yeah, it was. You
can roll alley-oop. Yep.
Oh, it was great. It's not working, and I get it. Look, the Raptors aren't going to just let you do whatever you want to do. They're gonna, they're taking away the driving lanes from Donovan Mitchell right now, and they're definitely. I don't know. I was going to say they're toughening up in the post, but I don't think they should be able to do that. You've got 2 of the best big men in the NBA. We should be bullying them. Right. But unfortunately, I think we've got just a bunch of really nice guys, which is great. But we just don't have that no one has that killer instinct that LeBron had when he was here, right?
Right.
That second run of LeBron James here was an easy ticket to the finals. And that's remarkable. And I think people still don't want to recognize his greatness. And it drives me insane. He was no Austin Reeves for most of that series, no Luka. He's doing it by himself. Right. And he's 87 years old. It's remarkable.
He's our age.
He is our age. He's in his late 80s. Yeah. Right. It's remarkable what he's doing. He's still clearly a great player. We miss him here, And
what do you think? Not to turn the interview around, but what do you think about just in terms of matchups in general? Obviously, we didn't match up against Toronto well at all this season. It was earlier in the season. I get it. There are certain teams when they match up that just don't play well against other teams. We've done well against Detroit. We've done fairly well against Orlando as well. What do you think in terms of that matchup? Like, is it just a Toronto thing for us where we just don't play well against them? And then what about the other teams in the East? We've got a lot of 3-2 series, with 2 games obviously ongoing tonight.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about Orlando is Orlando has turned the corner now. They're like this young team that they don't know any better, right? They're up 3-2 on
We
Detroit.
saw that last year against us.
Yes. Yeah, 7 games, right?
Right.
yeah, that makes me very, very nervous. So if you see them in the second round, I don't know. I mean, that's trouble waiting to happen. I think the Cavs match up a little better against the Pistons because I think if you could just kind of absorb Cade Cunningham scoring 30 or 40 points, and then just kind of keep everybody else in check and do what you have to do to keep everybody off. And the biggest thing is going to be keeping the Pistons off the boards. The Cavs have forgotten how to box out and get rebounds. They're giving a lot of second chance points up, and that you can't do that. The Knicks scare me. They're very physical. They're, the Cavs don't match up well against physical teams.
No, we don't.
To be honest. The Celtics are very physical. By the time we see them, they'll have won. I think it'll be 15 out of 21 series if they move on and with that core of players together with, and that terrifies me because they've got the experience, they've got the physicality, they've got the talent, they've got the quickness. That could be a very quick series, and I mean 4 games. That's terrifying to me. So there are a couple teams that now I think just watching the Cavs that they just don't match up well against in the East, and we thought, okay, they put it together, they got James Harden. This is not an easy run to the finals, but this is at least they'll get to the Eastern Conference Finals and compete, right? It'll go 6-7 games. They'll be on the cusp. They'll be building something. You re-sign Harden, you keep him here for a couple years. Maybe you add LeBron to the mix if he wants to come home and retire here. And now, I mean, we talked about it last night. We're really, 2 losses away from either making the choice to blow this thing up and start all over, to go out and try to get Giannis and build around him for a year or two, or I don't know what you do, honestly, if you're the Cavs. I just don't know. If they lose this series to the Raptors, it's going to feel very, very bad.
And then part of me wonders, are we in panic mode right now? Is this all going to be fine? They're going to go to Toronto, blow them out, and then we're going to be like, oh, they're back. And then they're going to do well next year. We get in this panic mode, and it's like I don't want to catch myself getting there, so we'll let it play out, I guess. But that's the beauty of sports. Beauty of weather, too. You don't know what's going to happen. You have all the ingredients. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you're just in panic mode. Is it going to snow? Is it going to –
right.
Hopefully it doesn't snow on the Cavs in Toronto, and figuratively. But, I don't know. I think it's hard not to go into panic mode as a Cleveland sports fan. I mean, you immediately start to think of, all the Jose Mesas and you think of John Elway, the drive and the fumble and the, red right, everything that just – all the bad Cleveland sports stuff, right? And they've got the one title, right? The Cavs won the title, but – I mean, how many times have we seen a Cleveland team get that close and just not be able to finish it? So, it happens. So, panic mode, I think that's accurate. Speaking of panic mode, listen, I don't want to panic about this next topic. I think it's time to get serious a little bit. I think we've had some fun. We talked about the Cavs. I was going to talk to you about Travis Bazzana, but he's been called up and it's fun. #1 overall pick from a couple years ago. Yeah. We'll wait until maybe June to reconvene on this one. We'll give them
Memorial Day is the cutoff for starting to talk about the Guardians.
I think so, yeah. Well, once it warms up, that's when we know their offense heats up when the weather does, and maybe the weather never heats up. Maybe it snows in July this year. We don't know.
Let's not push it. It could.
Yeah, I shouldn't say that. I might get us kicked off the air. I got to be careful with that. But we have to talk about a very serious topic, and I think, let's just get it. Let's put it out in the open. There are certain characters in Cleveland that are just very, when we think about Cleveland sports, speaking of Cleveland sports, right? They're central to the whole landscape, right? You think Jose Ramirez, good, right? Slider, excellent. Ketchup and mustard, you do the hot dog races, fantastic, fun. Am I missing anyone? Is there someone that I missed?
Onion,
not so good.
Oh no! You're not bringing that up, are you?
Well, I think it's time. I think it's time someone brought it up, Matt.
Oh no, Chad.
This is our brand new thing on the Inside Edge Network. I wish I had a title screen or something to put up. This is our investigative report segment on Inside Edge Primetime. It's time. I think it's time to expose Onion for what she is, Matt. She's a little. I
don't think that's a bad idea. We both have stories.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll tell mine first.
Okay.
Because I don't have video evidence and I'm sorry, I don't mean to make you the victim on tonight's show.
No, it's okay.
I'm glad that you agreed to do this. This is not easy for anyone, really. It's not easy to look at. I don't know. I should have like a graphic content warning or something. Trigger warning. Just know that the rest of the show could be a little tough. If this kind of violence triggers you, just maybe don't. Bullying. If these kinds of things trigger, maybe don't listen. Tune away. Don't tune away. Don't do that. This is important. You want to listen to this. So at the Progressive Field snow days, back in the day, I don't remember the year. I've blocked most of it out, honestly. I try not to think about it a lot. I thought I have to get into this, and it was tough to think about this for the show tonight, for this interview. But I was trying to be a good, and I wasn't even married yet to my wife. I was just trying to be a good boyfriend. I was holding her purse as she went down the luge, because you don't want to go down the luge and the contents of your purse go exploding out all over.
Right.
So I'm holding her purse, and like a good husband or boyfriend or fiance would do. And Onion, one of my heroes, right, started approaching me, and I'm like, I've rooted for you so many times, because who doesn't like mustard's great on a dog, but Onion's good too. Right. All the hot dogs to win the races, right? I rooted for all of them until this happened, and Onion came up to me, and I thought I'm gonna say hello. I said, hi, Onion, and she covered her face, and she kind of snickered a little bit and laughed at me and pointed, and I thought, what happened? Maybe I have a little mustard on me or something? I don't know what happened. And I looked down and I realized she was making fun of me because I was holding my wife's purse. Well, my girlfriend's purse. She was my wife at the time.
Oh, okay.
And I'll be honest with you, there was a crowd of people around, and it hurt a little bit. I felt very exposed. And then so she I think she felt bad, so she kind of like brokered a trade. So she gave me her purse. I gave her my wife's purse. I thought, this is a good peace offering. This is fine. And then I realized her purse
all the credit card information.
Well, no, it was just a lunch bag with nothing.
Oh, got it. Okay.
There were no contents. She had nothing in her purse. This was a scam the entire time. So not only has she made fun of me in front of this, and now people are gathering because
there's a crowd.
I think they thought I was a part of the thing, honestly. Like laughing, and I'm feeling very embarrassed. And she's laughing. She starts to walk away, and I can't catch her. It's embarrassing. I was old enough that I couldn't catch her. I couldn't run her down. So she's running away with my wife's purse, and she's almost gone. And luckily, I don't know if I can't remember what happened. Like I said, I blocked a lot of it out, Matt. But I was able to, I think, maybe wrestle my wife's purse back from her.
Wow.
She got her purse back. We kind of, we circled each other a couple of times. There was a little bit of a stare down. And she ran off into the corridors.
She doesn't blink. It's so tough. She doesn't blink.
I know. Literally, figuratively. Yeah, I know. And listen, I'm willing to maybe one day have Onion on the show right here on InsideEdge Primetime to tell her, to stare into the camera her side of the story, however that goes. But you also have an experience with Onion, and
I do.
I'm just going to pull it up right here. I'm going to pull up the video.
Yeah, it's fine.
Again, this is troubling to look at, but I feel it's important. We've got to get this kind of information out there.
Onion.
It's about 23 seconds. That's all it takes. Just watch what happens here, guys. Oh, look at, and there's no sound here, so I'm just going to narrate. But look at that. I mean, that is right to the chest.
I was in the lead, Chad.
I see that. You were going to win.
I was
now
look,
hands up. Yeah.
I've been training for this race. We did our obviously opening day, the home opener. We did it live out there, and we had the hot dog race. I knew it was on the schedule. Dream of a lifetime to crush the hot dogs in a race, and I had the lead. I'd been training. I stretched well. In the lead, Onion comes, uses a weapon, a purse, the same purse that you had interaction with.
It gives me shudders to see that. Yeah,
there was a brick in there, something heavy, and so I went down. Whole thing ruined. I had one chance in my life to beat Onion and the hot dogs, was doing it. And that's what happened. And I keep eating onions to this day. It's crazy. I'm so upset. It's not good.
Well, I would shed it. I'm actually, it's making my eyes water through I can feel how you must feel right now.
It's actually really good.
It's the best onion I've ever had. There you
I've
go.
I've never had it onion raw. It's really good. Anyway, sorry. I know. So
yes,
you and I are going to counseling now. We are taking care of ourselves.
Yeah. Well, you have to. You have to take care of yourself. And I think it's important that people understand that this is who Onion is. At the core, at the root.
Good one.
Are those onion parts? Yeah, those onion
whatever
parts.
this thing is.
Yeah.
These grow on the ground. I've never grown an onion.
I'm not sure. I've never grown anything. I have not made it past the planting stage of anything really ever in my life.
So you plant it and then you forget it. And you're like, oh, what was that? And then you mow over it. Our garden hasn't made it.
I've done it. The squirrels, the rabbits steal it. The deer, they'll eat things. I'm not good. I don't have a green thumb like the kids.
You don't
say.
need one.
No, it's fine. I'll go to the grocery store. yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I think that we need to just really talk about this, and I there's not much else that can be said. I want an onion now. Do I have an onion around here?
It's really not bad. It's getting a little spicy somewhere down there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does that. Well, I think that's very indicative of onions' whole attitude. A little bit spicy, right? When you least expect it. And this isn't the same as blowing out a hamstring. Like you said, you'd stretched, you trained, you were ready.
I was ready.
If you went down on your own, fine. We wouldn't be talking about this right now.
Right.
But the fact that Onion literally assaulted you at the home opener.
And you can't say anything to Onion because Onion doesn't talk. All right. So, you expect maybe I'm sorry or maybe a whisper coming out of Onion, but nothing.
A knowing nod.
Just stares.
That's it.
It's so difficult with those things.
I know. Well, listen, let me ask you this. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Yeah, I was doing just fine until you showed the video again.
Okay. Well, I don't want to show it the second time then. What we'll do is
okay? Are you good, Chad?
I mean, we'll find. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna be okay, I think.
Right.
I've got Eli waiting in the studio for me when we're done here. I mean, Eli he'll carry the rest of the show, and I think it may just be time for me to lay down and try to go to bed, and hopefully I don't have any more nightmares the way that I've had since that night of the.
They're the worst. You wake up in the sweats.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
the onion sweats. Yeah. Oh,
I see it every time I go to the groceries when I'm walking through the produce section. When I see a bag of Funyuns.
Yep.
It comes up at the odd when I smell like the fresh cut grass at a baseball game, and like I think of Onion, and every time it snows, the first snow of the year gets me. I'm like, I remember, it was cold, it was icy, it was snowy, and then Onion tried to take my wife's purse, and she embarrassed me in front of a crowd. And
Daddy, can we go sledding? No.
And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't want my kids to live this life. I have to. I have to finish this therapy. I have to get through this. This is something I have to get through in my life. You're going to have to get through it in your life. I'm glad that you've come on the Inside Edge Network to talk about it. It's a powerful moment, Matt.
It is. I appreciate you bringing it up. I do feel like this is good therapy. So it's just nice to have someone else who's been through the same thing. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chad.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being on, and thank you for just being open and honest. We're going to wait now. I think for maybe word from someone in Onion's camp, right? Maybe Mustard will reach out, maybe Ketchup. I don't know if Slider is like the official representative. I'm not sure how that works. I don't know how that whole conglomerate works. I don't know.
Slider the parrot? I don't know.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure who, I don't know how that works either, but
we'll have
they're
to get
all together all the time. That's good. They do
all
ride in the car together.
And you wonder if it's a little bit of a gang situation, right? Like if it's maybe there's more to Ketchup and Mustard and Slider than we think. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean to throw out the guilty by association thing, but
right. But maybe some undercover crime network in Cleveland that who knows?
Who does know?
Interesting.
Well, we're going to find out right here.
We'll find out
on the investigative, whatever I called it earlier, at the Inside Edge Network, because it is not made up. It's a very real thing. I didn't make it up just a moment ago. That's why I remember what it's called now. So we'll get to the bottom of it. Don't worry. Matt, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you. Again, you are a friend of the network. And anytime you need to talk, you've got my number. You just, you text me, you call me, whatever you need. I'm no therapist, but we have a shared experience. And I think we can help each other here. So
I think we're bonded for life, Chad.
I think so. Hey, thank you again, Matt. We will see you in about a month. We'll check in just before June. Hopefully the Guardians will be heating up, and Travis Bazzano will have 4 or 5 home runs, and we'll have some stuff to talk about. The Cavs will still be playing.
Yeah. Hey, if this is happening a month from now, things are good, Chad. We can do this.
Yes, absolutely. Let's reconvene in about 30 days. We'll talk about it. Again, I hope that you're okay. I'm sorry. I didn't want to open any old wounds.
No.
Sometimes you just have to peel the layers back and really get to the middle of it. That's enough onion jokes. Okay. There it is. There they go. There go the layers. There goes Matt. Don't blame him. Thanks again, Matt. We appreciate you so much.
Thanks, Chad. Appreciate it.
All right.
The Inside Edge Network is brought to you by Fanatics. Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans, dedicated to our favorite teams and athletes, to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We're talking NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, National Hockey League, the NCAA. I'm a wrestling guy as well. We got WWE apparel available too. It allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. It's right there in the corner of your screen. Get your official gear. Level up with us at fanatics.com.
No, look. We'll do final thoughts and then we'll get you out of here. Okay? I know you're gonna do a lot. No, I know you're gonna do a lot. All right, look. I know you're gonna do a lot, pal. All right. So
I can do it.
Oh, we're back on. Hold on. We're back on. All right, Chad, Bryan, to my right, your left. I am Eli Moon. We're back here, Inside Edge Primetime. Chad, I stepped away for literally 30 minutes. Dude, are you all right?
It's the onion. It's getting me.
I mean, I stepped away for like 30 minutes. I talked to Matt and you both during the break. I said, all right, guys, you crushed it. I did not expect it to get that emotional. Big thank you to WKYC Meteorologist Matt Wintz for just gracing us with his presence first off, giving us some weather updates, Cavs talk, and sharing his story about Onion. I mean, that was some powerful stuff. And Chad, I didn't know you had went through something like that before.
Yeah, I think Matt and I peeled back some layers tonight.
Yeah, so I just want anybody out there to know if you are going through another tough, struggle like, with an onion or mustard or ketchup. I couldn't believe mustard would do something like that. That's the one thing I'm having a tough time with. But if you've experienced any of that, you let us know here on Inside Edge Primetime. We will get to the bottom of this situation. I'm going to look out for Chad. I'm going to look out for Matt, who is a friend of the program, friend of the network. We're going to look out for these guys. If you've experienced something like that, you let Eli Moon know. Because Chad's already went through enough, all right? So do not hit Chad up at Real Chad Bryan. Do not let him know what is going on with your experiences. Hit me up. You see the handle, okay? All right, Chad, we're going to be all right. Just a few more minutes and we'll get you out of here. You'll get the bed. All right, maybe put like a cold rag on your head. I mean, something, pal.
Yeah. I'm going to have to, I'll be okay.
Okay.
Something, yeah.
All right, because I care about you.
I appreciate that, man.
All right. Let's get to some final thoughts. Chad, do you want to go first? Just get some final thoughts off your chest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get out of the onion situation. I don't know if I can handle any more. Let's talk Cavs for a moment.
Okay.
Game 6 is tomorrow night. First of all, we'll have the post game here on the Inside Edge. Not you and me.
Yes.
It'll be Mike Check Take Two at a special time, correct?
It will. Yes, David Ruiz and Autumn Chisholm at 10 p.m. Right after the Cavs post game, they're going to go over, or the Cavs game, they're going to go over with the post game. Hopefully, it'll be a celebration, and the Cavaliers will be moving on to the second round. Of course, follow Inside Edge Net, and like Chad said, they'll be giving you the breakdown here on the Inside Edge Network. Back to you, Chad.
Well, we appreciate them being here for all the Cavs post game stuff, and honestly, much like they say, the eyes are the window. They're the windows to the soul, right? That's you look in someone's eyes and you can see through to their soul, right? If you know what to pay attention for. Tomorrow night, I think the Cavs Game 6 will be a window to their soul. However they come out tomorrow night is what you can expect for the rest of the playoffs. Whether that's one more game, if there's a Game 7, if that's one more series, I think however they look tomorrow night is really. Listen, they know, even with a 3-2 lead, I think they feel a little bit of pressure. I think they know they're up against it, right? So if this team has the heart and has the motor that we want them to have as a team, not just Dennis Schroeder, and the mental fortitude, which is really easy to say right now for me. I go through a lot. And just the psychological makeup that we want to see them display to be able to do what it takes to win a championship. Hopefully, we'll see it tomorrow night, because if we don't, if tomorrow night ends up in a loss, I'm very concerned about Game 7, even back here in Cleveland. Very concerned, and I'm even more concerned about. I don't care who they play in the second round or beyond. Doesn't really matter, because if they can't, and again, I know they've got the lead. They're not truly. Their backs aren't truly against the wall, but in a way, they are. So how they respond tomorrow night, I think, will just tell you a lot about what you can expect for the rest of the playoffs from the Cavaliers, however long that lasts.
Yeah, man. Wait, that you're spot on with that. I will follow up with something different here. I just would like to remind everybody we've had a very busy week here on the network, and it does not stop tonight. Tomorrow morning, Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast should have a new episode out. Because it is Friday morning, and they will be dropping a new episode. So keep an eye out for that here on the Inside Edge Network, Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast, our pages as well. And just keep an eye out for it. W. Anthony Alford and Kyle Cornell. I joked yesterday that Jacob Fatu might take the title off Roman. Those guys probably think I'm crazy. But you know what? It's not the first time they've thought of crazies, and we're still like bros, so that's good.
It'll be the last.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay. So with that being said, and then Mike Check Take Two, of course, after the Cavs game, you'll have the post game. That's David Ruiz, Autumn Chisholm here on the Inside Edge Network at Inside Edge Net. Again, that is at after the game. Pretty big stuff here, you know. So we'll keep an eye out on that. 10 p.m. David and Autumn will go over that. So just a big network celebration here this week as we unveiled 3 daily shows, Monday through Friday, Primetime, Midnight Run on Filter with Kyle Cornell. Great stuff. And Papa Moon has a great episode this Saturday. Super excited. Since it is the end of the show, I'll let the cat out of the bag. It's Double Dose Art. It's going to be a super awesome episode. He's actually my merch guy. He is Papa Moon's merch guy. And just rocking and rolling. So some very exciting stuff. So we'll keep an eye on the weekend. Of course, I believe Sunday Sports Show this Sunday with Chad, TK, and Ryan. And so that'll be an exciting day. And, of course, Sunday main event on a Sunday night, Rob, AA, and myself. If you guys couldn't tell, Chad and I have basically been awake for probably the entire week and have slept maybe approximately 8 hours. We got our 8 hours. Unfortunately, it was combined throughout the entire week. So we appreciate you. We really appreciate you, again, for being the heartbeat of what keeps us going. Follow us at Inside Edge Net on all the socials. Of course, go to the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Go check out the partners page, the shop page, the personalities page, all the great stuff. A lot more to be added there. And just keep supporting us. We appreciate you supporting us because, you know, we like I said, couldn't do it without you. Of course, we are Cleveland's digital leader and your source for sports, entertainment, mental health conversations. And we're going to be adding a whole lot more. So stay tuned for that. Very excited to keep bringing you guys something different to Cleveland and to the world. So that's what I got for you, Chad.
Fair enough.
All right, pal. Well, hey, with that being said, Chad and I are going to sign off. This is our last Thursday, being a Friday. Next week, we'll be with you Monday through Friday, same time, same place. You know where to be. For everybody on the Inside Edge Network, we truly appreciate you. For everybody at home or wherever you may be watching, we appreciate you. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes they should sometimes play some music. I think there's some music playing right now. That's usually the cue for us to start signing off, Chad. And so with that being said, that's Chad Bryan to my right, your left. I'm Eli Moon. This is Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. And until next week, everybody stay safe, but stay locked in. A lot of great stuff coming your way here on the Inside Edge Network. See you guys next week.